You hear so much on the news and on social media about cybercrime. But if you're the owner of a business, what is the best way that you can start your cybersecurity journey and get your business protected? The one thing that I recommend to all businesses is to get the Cyber Essentials certification. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about Cyber Essentials. We'll cover exactly what Cyber Essentials is, the different levels of certification, the cost of Cyber Essentials, and the benefits that it'll bring to your business. I'll also talk about what Cyber Essentials isn't. But before we start, don't forget to like this video, and if you've got any comments, please use the comment box below. So what is the Cyber Essentials scheme? Well, it's not a new thing. It was actually launched in 2014, and it's a simple yet very effective government-backed scheme that can help protect businesses from a wide range of common cyber attacks. The scheme is available to businesses of all sizes. So if your business has just a couple of laptops, or if you've got hundreds of PCs spread across multiple offices, you can still benefit from Cyber Essentials. Cyber Essentials has two levels of certification. They're Cyber Essentials and Cyber Essentials Plus. So what is the difference between the two? The standard Cyber Essentials is a self-assessment questionnaire. So you, along with perhaps your IT provider or your IT department, will fill out the questionnaire and send it off to a Cyber Essentials assessor. If the answers that you've provided are compliant with Cyber Essentials, then your business will be issued with the Cyber Essentials certificate. Now, because the standard Cyber Essentials certification is done by self-assessment, there are lots of people who believe that it doesn't hold much value. The Cyber Essentials Plus certification, on the other hand, also includes a self-assessment. But in addition, a Cyber Essentials assessor will test your IT network to confirm that the answers you provided are correct. So someone is actually going to come to your office and provide an independent assessment of your IT systems. That is a very good thing. And that is why the Cyber Essentials Plus certification is deemed to be much better than the standard one. But I believe both have a part to play. So how much does the Cyber Essentials certification cost? Well, the basic self-certification and certificate costs approximately £350 per year, so it needs to be renewed every 12 months. Now, if you're a small business without in-house IT knowledge, then you might need the assistance of your IT company to complete the questionnaire. There might be some additional fees from the IT company for this consultancy. For the Cyber Essentials Plus certification, you're still going to need to go through the basic Cyber Essentials self-assessment and pay those costs. But in addition to those costs, you will also need to pay for the independent assessor. These prices can start from about £1,200, and they can vary based on your location and size of your business. Now, the pricing I've just talked about includes the costs of the Cyber Essentials certification only. You might fail some of the controls, and you might need to purchase some more hardware, some more software, or take on some additional services to get you compliant with Cyber Essentials. So these costs also might need to be factored in. So what kind of things does Cyber Essentials test? Well, I'm not going to go too technical, but we will talk about the basic 5 controls of the Cyber Essentials framework. The first control is called Firewall and Internet Gateways, and this control looks at the firewalls that are protecting your network. Cyber Essentials will test that you have a decent and robust firewall in place and that it is set up and configured correctly to provide adequate protection for your network. If you're a business that is working from home or you have permanent remote workers, then the home routers will be tested under the Cyber Essentials framework. Each computer in your business will also be tested to make sure that it's got a software firewall installed, set up correctly, and working. The second control is called Secure Configuration. And in this section, we'll be looking at testing your servers, your laptops, your computers, and even mobile phones. When PCs are first installed, often they're not very secure. They can contain pre-installed software, and if that software isn't removed or maintained properly, it can become a security risk for your business. Also, businesses sometimes stop using a product, perhaps they move to something else, but the software is still installed on the computers. Again, if it's not maintained properly, it can become a security risk, and those type of things will be tested under secure configuration. Cyber Essentials will also be looking at the quality of your passwords and making sure that everyone has a unique username and password to access the computer systems. The third control is called patching and updates. So one of the things that will be tested in this control is the software that you're using on your computers. So if anyone is using Windows 7 still, then this would be an automatic fail under the framework. But also, even if you're using Windows 10, you still might not be safe. So Cyber Essentials will look at the version number of Windows 10 that you're using, because a lot of versions are now not supported. And if you're using one of those, that will also be a Cyber Essentials fail. Also, are all your servers and computers up to date with the latest security patches? This is one of the main things that I see when I visit new businesses. A lot of the servers and computers haven't been updated in several months. These updates should be installed within 14 days. Also, if any of your team members use their personal mobiles for anything to do with work, for example, I know a lot of people who have their work emails on their personal mobiles. This is absolutely fine under Cyber Essentials. However, the mobile phones will be in scope, so we'd have to check each one to make sure that it's using the very latest version of Apple or Android software. The fourth control is called access control, and there are a few different things that are checked here. Firstly, when you use your computer, your user account can have different levels of access. If your user account is a standard user account, it means that you won't be able to do things like install software. So when you try and install software, it'll ask for an admin username and password. On the other hand, if your user account is an admin account, it means you can do whatever you want on your computer. You can install software, you can change settings, you have full admin access. The problem is, if you have full admin access to your computer and you get hacked, it means the hacker will also have full admin access and they can cause much more damage. That is why everybody in your business should have a standard user account to do their day-to-day activities, and admin access should be restricted to IT personnel or when you specifically want to do an admin task. In addition to looking at the different levels of access, in this control we'll also look at your new starter and new leaver process. A really common thing that I see when I go into businesses is that people who have left the business weeks or even months or years ago still have live accounts on the server or cloud accounts. Hypothetically, these people still have access to your IT systems. That is a big no-no. A process should be in place to determine how your IT department or your IT company deals with new leavers and new starters to your business. The fifth and final control is called Malware Protection. Malware is created by hackers in order to try and steal or damage your company data. That is why every device in your organisation needs robust anti-malware protection, and it must be set up and configured correctly. I've seen it before where antivirus software has been installed on all the computers, but the license had expired. That means these PCs weren't protected against any new malware threats. So all that will be covered under malware protection. And they are the 5 controls that your business will be checked against in order to achieve your Cyber Essentials certification. So the next part of this video, I want to talk about the benefits that your business will get from getting its Cyber Essentials certification. I think there are 4 main benefits. The first benefit is that you are showing your customers that you take cybersecurity seriously. Make no mistake about it, if your business suffers a serious cyber attack, it will lead to lost customers. If, for example, I used a law firm and they had a big ransomware attack, it would make me rethink my working arrangements with them. In this day and age, we have to show that we as a business are taking cybersecurity seriously. The second benefit is to pursue new business opportunities. If you want to work with government organisations, local councils, or other public sector organisations, you will have to have the Cyber Essentials Plus certification just to get your foot through the door. So having the accreditation can help to grow your business. The third benefit of pursuing your Cyber Essentials certification is to put cybersecurity on your business agenda. I always say that cybersecurity isn't an IT problem, it's a business problem, and you need to get everybody in your organisation knowledgeable and up to date about cyber threats. The fourth benefit is that you as a business owner can get that peace of mind that your IT is set up securely and you're not going to fall victim to a basic cyber attack. You might have an IT company that you trust and you've worked with for many years, and that's really great. But IT is such a fundamental part of any business that you need independent verification. In my opinion, we are moving towards a scenario where every business will have an IT function and a cybersecurity function, and these two functions will be completely separate. It just makes sense. Now in this video we've spoken about the great benefits of the Cyber Essentials certification, but there are some things that it doesn't cover, and that's what I want to talk about next. I emphasised at the very beginning of this video that Cyber Essentials is a great first step on your cybersecurity journey. The key word here though is essentials. The certification just covers the basics to make sure that your business doesn't suffer from an unsophisticated cyber attack. Just because your business achieves the certification, it doesn't mean that you're going to become immune to cyber attacks, and it doesn't mean that you've got robust cybersecurity in place. There are lots of really critical IT functions that are missing from the Cyber Essentials framework. For example, backup. Backup doesn't play a part of this certification. But in theory, your business could have no backup in place at all, yet achieve the Cyber Essentials certification. So just keep in mind that getting this certification is just the beginning. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. If you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me.